Well, I don't understand it. Why is it in this country, right, in this marvellous country of ours, the United Kingdom, why can someone not get a tan without someone else saying, have you been on a sunbed? Have you noticed that? Here in this marvellous sun-filled county of Royal Berkshire, where the sun actually shines 7 days a week, 52 weeks of the year, 24 hours a day. It does here in Berkshire. Nowhere else in the country do you get as much sunlight as we get in Berkshire. And why is that? Because we pay extra for that, boys and girls. The people of Berkshire are more well off and looked after than any other part of the country. You're probably feeling a little bit jealous, aren't you? But that's the truth of it. All year round, it's summer here in Berkshire. Anyway, I've been sitting out in the garden for a couple of days this week because it really has been quite pleasant. Temperatures in the sort of low 60s, which for this time of the year, I gather is pretty good. Even better than that, the sun, I mean, it's been just shining the entire day, no clouds, a little bit hazy, but not too bad, you know. My solar panels are chucking out the electricity. 1,500 watts. As I looked at it this afternoon, oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful out there. So I get a bit of a tan, don't I? Now, I have dark hair. Now, as you can see, well, you not necessarily. If you're not looking, you won't be able to see it. But I have very short hair at the moment. I've had another haircut, yes. Number 2 on top, number 1 around the back and sides. Once again, I'm looking very butch. If you need any building work done whatsoever, give me a call or email the show, OK? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Anyway, so, as I say, I've been sitting out in the sun for a couple of days. Not for long, I suppose about half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, OK, each day. And then I went to work last night. And first thing someone said was, have you been on a sunbed? Why is that? Do you get that at all? As soon as you get a tan... I don't know if it is that the same where whatever country you're in. I can't believe it happens in Australia or America where you have a lot more sunshine than us. I'm sure you do. But here in the UK, why is it whenever you get a tan, someone says, oh, you've been on a sunbed? No, I have not, thank you very much. Listen, I only ever went on a sunbed once. Years ago, when I had my flat in Wandsworth, and I used to have a friend live with me as well. He actually slept on the settee in the living room. Oh, I can't do it. I find that so hard, don't you? Have you ever been round someone's house and you stay the night and they say, oh, you can have the settee? Is it just me that has terrible, terrible trouble sleeping on other people's settees? It's just impossible. Every half an hour, you're waking up and you look at the clock and it hasn't moved again, has it, eh? I can't be doing that, sleeping on people's settees. Anyway, my mate decided, he asked me first, how do you feel about having a sunbed in here? I said, well, they're quite expensive. Oh, no, he says, you can hire them for something like £6 a week or something really cheap like that. So I thought about it and I thought, oh, well, you know, I suppose we can give it a go, see how it goes. So this contraption arrived. And I can't remember, I think it actually arrived while I was at work, because during the daytime I was working for British Telecom. I was an engineer, and he wasn't working during the daytime, so he was at home. And when I got back from work, this contraption arrived that had been placed over my bed. I mean, one of the strangest things you've ever seen. It like something out of Star Trek. It really was. And it had all these, like, tubes in it, just the top. And he says, you're going to have a go then? I said, oh, I don't know. And I looked at this thing, and it just looked like the whole thing would collapse at any moment. It was just like that. I think there was a bit that you kind of pushed up to the bed, the end of the bed, like on the side. And then there was another bit that went up, and attached to that was a top bit with all these tubes in, that was only attached to the bottom bit on one side. And it just looked so unsafe. It really did. Anyway, so I said, have you been on it yet? He said, no, it's only just come. I'll get on it first if you like. I said, OK then. So with that, he went to the bathroom and he reappeared in his swimming trunks. Which kind of amused me. the fact that he was in a flat in a pair of swimming trunks. It just looked a bit strange, but there you are. I said, OK then. I said, have you got sunglasses or something? He said, yeah, they give you these. And he gave me these 2 metal gold things that he put on his eyes. Well, he didn't put on his eyes straight away because he wouldn't have been able to see to get back to the bed, would he? So I said, how long will it be? He says, oh, I don't know, about 15 minutes. I said, OK, I'll see you then. So he put these, he got under this thing and switched, it's got a timer, and it's clicking, you know. It's like a bit like a washing machine timer. He clicked it around, zzz, like that, and then it started, click, 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 like that. And all these tubes lit up and everything was blue. Lovely colour. Beautiful colour. And then he put these things on his eyes and then kind of just sat underneath it. It's surprising I can remember back this far, actually. I think I then went in the living room and watched a bit of telly, and then he emerged from the bedroom about 20 minutes later. Didn't look any different to me. He said, there, what do you think? I said, well, you don't look any different. He said, you must be able to see the difference. I can't see any difference. He said, are you going to have a go? I said, oh, I don't know. He said, go on, it's all right. I said, oh, maybe so. All right, then. So I then went in there and I put a pair of shorts on and I sat under this thing and put them things on my eyes and turned it on. And the first thing that struck me was ever so warm. It just didn't feel natural. It's not like, I'm sorry, people say it is, but to me, it was nothing like sitting in the sun. Whether it's the fact that you know you're sitting under something that isn't natural, I don't know. But certainly, it just didn't feel right. Anyway, I persevered and I stayed under there about 15 minutes, by which time I was sweating profusely. It was awful, dreadful. And I thought, I'm laying under there, trying to kind of close my mind to it. And I thought, any moment now, this whole thing is just going to collapse down on top of me and I'll be electrocuted and that'd be the end. I mean, had that have happened, there wouldn't have been any of these shows, dear. What do you mean that's not such a bad thing anyway? Oh, how vile you are to me sometimes. Here I am, putting time and effort into making these little orgies of entertainment for you. And you say those nasty things. Oh, I can feel that knife going back into my back again. I really can. So 20 minutes was up. I got off. I thought. He said, what did you think? I said, never again. He said, why not? I said, it just doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel safe. And I've always thought to myself, those sunbed things are full of cancer. I'm sorry, I do think they are. It's not natural. I can't believe that is safer than sitting out in the sun. I don't believe it. My mate, Andy his name was, years ago, he was doing the sunbeds. I mean, I have to say, you know, he's always walking around with this lovely, well, it's not a golden tan, is it? It's like an orangey tan. you can tell the difference between a suntan and a sunbed tan. You always look slightly orange. Anyway, he was going quite a lot. I think every day for about half an hour. And then eventually he got this mole on his chest, just kind of below his left breast thing. What's that called? Pec. Is it a pec? It's a pec when it's muscle, isn't it? Yeah, pec. He got a mole there, which very quickly apparently spread. And he now has a big scar there where it had to be cut out. And that's it. And God bless us, it hasn't come back. But he's never used a sunbed again. So please, I mean, do be careful of those sunbeds. All right, I mean, don't you? I would advise not using them. I honestly think they are terrible things and full of cancer. If you want to get a suntan, go out in the blooming sun. If it's winter, then you just have to put up with being white, and that's it, isn't it? I don't know what those. I mean, what is the point of those spray tans? Do they do anything for you apart from make you look a different colour? It wasn't like this in my mum and dad's day, you know. When they were children, then you were just happy whatever colour you were. You didn't spend the entire life trying to change your colour, do you? Eh? Oh well. So there we are. People keep asking me if I've been on a sunbed. No, I haven't. I've been laying in the garden in the sunshine, and it's very beautiful. And incidentally, this week I had the first grass cut of the year. Yes, the grass has been cut, and that smell, isn't it, eh? Oh, the beautiful smell of cut grass. Oh, I like that very much. The daffodils are still coming up. I don't know how your garden is at home. And I still have yet to get down to the garden centre and purchase some tomato seeds to grow my own tomatoes this year. Still waiting to do that. Now, what else have I got to tell you? Oh, yes, of course. I was out actually in the garden on Sunday. And, of course, because it's nice weather, oh, yes, the blooming DIYers are out in force, aren't they? Yes, once again, it's happening. You see, this is the beauty of not having to work during the daytimes, as in my case, during the week. Because at the weekend, on Saturdays and Sundays, the DIYers are out in force, aren't they? And all you can hear is drills going off, wood being sawed, nails being hammered, and it just goes on and on, dear. And they don't seem to be particularly bothered at what time they start. Now, fortunately, I've got a very good neighbour who makes I have never I've been here since 1992 here in Bracknell, Berkshire, and he has never ever woken me up. I've never heard noise at all from him, hardly at all. And if he has got some work to do, he seems to wait until he hears me moving around, and then he starts his work, whatever that is. But the DIYs, it's always so annoying at the beginning of nice weather, because they all come out, the DIYs, they're out there making as much noise as possible, especially him over the road. Oh, God. I mean, he seems to carry it right the way through winter and everything. It's always banging. I think he decorates the kitchen like 3 or 4 times a year. I'm sure he does, because I could see in the window from down here, from down below. And like, I would say he decorates that kitchen 3 times a year. What's all that about, eh? I mean, look at this room. Look how drab this Mirable studio waiting to be decorated. This room has not been done since I moved here in 1992. Oh, I can't stand the upheaval. I told you about that. I told you about the last show. It's all going wrong. You know, things are going wrong, and I'm dreading the thought of when the bloke comes to decorate this. I'm sure he'll do a marvellous job, but actually putting all the kit back together again is a nightmare. So that's that. First cut of the year. The hedge is starting to grow. I shall have to do that soon. We love it though, don't we? Do you like gardening? I find it very therapeutic to be able to, I don't know, even get down on your hands and knees and pull up a few weeds. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, and do you remember those lily of the valley flowers that I planted on top of Tiny's grave? They're all coming up. Yes. She's going to have some nice little white flowers there. What else has happened? Oh, it's my niece's birthday. She was 22. Bless her heart. Oh, we better sing happy birthday. I didn't actually sing it to her. Let me just find my happy birthday. Oh, is this it? 1 minute. I hope I got the right one here. Where is that? Where's my happy birthday? Let's try it, shall we? Right, is this the one? No, that's not the one we're using. Where's Carl's one? Carl's happy birthday. I can't find it now. Oh, I've lost it again. Happy birthday, where are you now? Come on, where are you? Oh, we'll have to use this one. We'll use this one. You ready? Here we go. Her name's Tracy, if you want to sing along with me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tracy. Happy birthday to you. There we are. There we are, my niece's 22nd. I can't believe I've got a niece who's 22 years old. Untrue, innit? Anyway, she's 22, and I've sent her some money in the post. And I'm pleased. Now, you know, regular viewers and listeners to the show will know I don't believe in spending vast sums of money on cards. Whether it be birthday cards, Christmas cards, death cards. I don't know. Death cards, yes, probably would spend money on that, but certainly not birthdays and all that business. In Sainsbury's, just up the road, they have a new section of very reasonably priced cards. I found a birthday card for my niece, nothing wrong with it, 25 pence. Now that's what I call fair. It is not fair to charge 3 or 4 quid for a blooming bit of printed card, is it? So I'm quite pleased about that. 25p for my niece's birthday card. I love her. Well, look at it this way. The money still went in the envelope, didn't it, eh? What would you rather have, boys and girls? A bit more money or a nice card? Yeah, I knew it. All money grabbing people you are, aren't you? So that's it. That's my niece's birthday. Oh, you know Wayne the butler, who doesn't do butlering anymore. He's looking after this really posh building in London now. He's got a problem with moths. Anyone else had this problem with moths? When I say that, we're not talking about the occasional moth that you find in your house, as we all do. And it's always very tempting, isn't it, in the summer months, to leave your window wide open and a light on. And you know you will get the most enormous moths you've ever seen in your entire life, flocking, dear, flocking through, swarming, that's the word, swarming through your window, attacking your light bulb. Well, Wayne has a problem with moths in his flat, and it's quite bad. I didn't realise there was this could actually happen. But he says every time he opens a cupboard, another load of them fly out. And it's terrible. It's annoying, right, because he's just had a new carpet put down. And apparently, moths lay their eggs and larvae all round the side of the carpet. So presumably, the people that put down this carpet must have noticed, mustn't they, when they put the carpet down, that there were all these little eggs and things. Would you notice something like that? I'm not sure. And he's got a terrible problem with moths. And all his clothes, because he's got sensitive skin. Oh, another one, you know. Oh, I've got sensitive skin, I have to have that, don't they? Oh, dear. What's wrong with these sensitive people? It's like, you know, I always remember being in cub camp when I was a cub. You'd always have some kid who was allergic to everything, wouldn't you? When it was eggs, or I can't eat eggs, I'm allergic to those, or bread, or milk, or, you know, they were never allergic to chocolate or crisps, were they? Huh? It's always eggs or milk or something like that. There's always someone who's allergic to things. Well, Wayne is sensitive. So all his clothes, he has to have woolen clothes, and everything's wool or cotton. No synthetic materials at all. And apparently the moths like all this stuff, and they're nibbling away at his jumpers, nibbling away at his jumpers and all his other bits and pieces, and he keeps finding holes and everything. Isn't that awful? And then apparently, so he tells me, the moths then lay more eggs in the not the shed, in the wardrobe. He said they come out in, when do you get moths? He said March, and I think he said September. Does anyone know anything about them? Because I don't. I'm just going by what he says here. Anyway, he's got a real problem in there. At the moment, they're arranging, because it's not just his room. He's got a room in a very... He actually lives in the same place he works. Okay, it's an enormous house with state rooms where they have banquets and all that. Fantastic job he's got there. A few other people live upstairs as well. And they too have got this moth problem. So they've got to arrange for someone to come round and spray everything or whatever. I'm not quite sure what they do. They spray everything, and then hopefully that get rid of the wafts. If that doesn't work, they then bomb the place. No, I don't mean with a nuclear bomb or something like that. Something less harmful than that, I hope. Apparently this thing, they set it off in the room, and then they close all the doors and windows, and then they have to leave it for, I don't know, 6 hours or something before anyone can go back in again. And that gets rid of them all. So all a bit worrying that. Has anyone else ever had a moth problem? If so, do let us know. My email address is... Have I said hello today? My name's Chris Reardon. This is United Kingdom Talk. My email address... Any comments? Please feel free to join in at any time. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. We've got quite a few regular people who write in. Perhaps you'd like to be one of them as well. It'd be lovely to hear from you. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. It did actually remind me of a problem I had years ago here in Royal Berkshire. And I don't want you to tell everyone about this, okay? This is going to be our secret, all right? But I did have... I'd be going back now about 10 years. I had a flea problem in the house, yeah, because that's when the cats were coming into the house, didn't have an asthma problem then, and the cats clearly had a flea problem. I always remember sitting there one night and I thought, something just jumped on my leg. And of course, by the time you look down, these fleas are ever so quick. It had gone. That was, say, the Monday. Now, I was surprised how quickly the problem increased. On the Tuesday, I felt something jump on my leg again. Now, this would have been in the height of the summer. It was a hot summer, so I had shorts on in the house. And I felt something jump, and I looked down, and there was a little brown speck, which, quick as a flash, jumped off again. I thought, oh my God, that's a flea. Must be coming off one of the cats. A little bit later that same night, the same thing happened. Another flea, or possibly the same one that had taken a liking to me, jumped on my leg. I looked down, saw it again, quickly put my finger, but I missed it. Left it. On the Wednesday, it was like 3 times. And I thought, I must have fleas in the living room. I'll get some powder, because I know that the supermarket do this powder stuff, and you put it on the carpet, a little bit like shake and vac. So I put all this stuff down on the carpet, and it said leave it for half an hour. Well, I left it actually for a few hours, and I hoovered it all up. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, nothing. No, I thought, that's got rid of them. Lovely, fleas gone. Didn't think to do the cats, did I? Monday, then the next week, it started again. Flea jumping on my leg. Awful. Just awful. I then took the cats to the vets. And I said, can you have a look? I think they might have... And she looked for it. And she said, oh, yes, they've got visitors. And I thought, oh, my, I'm so embarrassed. I have actually told this story before a while ago. So if you've heard it, I'm sorry. But there'd be new people that might not have heard it. So... what did she get? She gave me this stuff to put drops on their neck. And that'd get rid of them. But she said, you're going to have to treat the house as well. I said, well, it's only in the living room. She said, I think you'll find that they will spread to the other rooms. You're going to have to do the whole house. What have you got? I said, well, I've already done the living room with this powder stuff. And immediately she dismissed that. She said, no, complete waste of money. She said, it'll work for a few days and then they'll be back again. I said, that's right. I said, they are. Oh, she said, you tried it already? I said, yeah. She said, I don't know why the supermarkets sell that stuff. She said, it's a complete and utter waste of time. This is what you need. So she produced this large aerosol can. Of I don't know, industrial strength flea killer or whatever it was, and she said what you've got to do is spray around all the corners of the room because that's where they do their breeding, and you can spray it in the air as well and all that. So how big's your house? I said 3 bedrooms. She said you'll need you need 2 cans. I said okay. So I got a £10 out of my pocket. Now this is going back. Remember this is going back 10 years. Okay, £10 out of the pocket. How much is that? There's a £16. I said okay. So I got another £6 out each. £32. But I tell you what, at that point I felt really dirty. I felt really dirty having fleas in the house. So I was quite happy to hand over the money and I thought, right, here we go then. Got back home. That night just before work, I sprayed everything, sprayed this stuff in the air, and oh my God, you know, it was really quite strong, the smell. Closed all the doors, closed all the windows, went back to work, came back here, opened the door, well, you'd think a bomb had hit it. I've never seen so many dead insects on the floor. Flies, spiders, everything. Thank God I didn't breathe the stuff in myself, love. Huh? Of because that would have killed me. If it hadn't been the skin cancer from the sunbed earlier on in the show, it would have been this insect repellent stuff or whatever, insect killer. And do you know what? That was 10 years ago, and I've never had a problem since. They never came back after that. I shouldn't think they want to live here, breathing in all that stuff. So quite a good thing. And presumably, my friend Wayne may well have to do the same thing. Don't know about that. Anyway, horrible thing. Anyone else that ever had a problem with moths or fleas that you want to tell us about? You may want to keep your identity secret, and if you put at the top, please don't say my name, but I had a terrible problem with fleas. Maybe in other countries you have different problems, do you? For example, in Australia, do you find you have a bit of a problem with crocodiles in your living room? Do they just walk in, dear, and take over? How annoying is that? You could come home from work one day, couldn't you? Only to find a crocodile has taken up residence on your settee. But would he be able to sleep? That's the thing. Because earlier on the show, I said to you, I have terrible trouble sleeping on people's settees. Would the crocodile be able to sleep on your settee? Do you have that problem in Australia? Let me know. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I know you have a problem with those little spiders, but it's not too bad, is it? I mean, it's not like they're dropping out of the trees all over the place, are they? But they do have the most dangerous spiders or animals. The place with the most dangerous animals, I do believe, is Australia, isn't it? Funny how we all, so many people move there and indeed want to move there. I'd love to live there, but I don't think it's for me. Now, in the news this week, I notice terrible trouble with car production here in the UK. Apparently, car production is down, was it 60%? 60%! We've got all sorts of companies laying off people. I think Honda have told people to take a 3 or 4 month break. Now, I wonder, actually, do those people get paid while they're taking that break of 3 or 4 months? Is it 3 or 4 months, or is it 3? Oh, I can't remember now. I meant to look that up before I came on today. But anyway, car production, 60%. All those poor people with jobs. You see, people just aren't buying them. We're worried. We're all worried. Look at me. Now, I had, for years, for 20 years, I had a new car every 2 or 3 years. Right? This one, I've now had just coming up to 3 years. I've no intention of selling it. I think a lot of the time, perhaps we get it in our heads that we need to change the car every 2 years. My friend Justin, who runs the pub I work at every other Friday, he's always buying new cars. Every year and a half he trades it in. He says, because it's more likely that it will go wrong. Well, of course, things do go wrong as they get older. Look at me, losing my mind. I've got older and I'm starting to go wrong, let's be honest. It's all going terribly wrong. But with cars, of course, you can trade them in and get another one. I don't know so much. I mean, Toyota, I've got a Toyota, very good brand, and their reliability is really good. I was in the service place, I remember a couple of years ago, and there was an old boy in there. He was about 60. And I said, yeah, this is. No, it was just when I bought the car, the very first service I went in. And I was very pleased about the way I was treated in there and everything. And this old boy says, I said, well, are you in here for a service? He said, oh, no, I've got something gone wrong with it. He said, first time something's gone wrong with it in 12 years. He said, he'd had the car 12 years, and that was the first time. So these things are made to last. And I actually don't go along with having to buy a car every 2 years. It's a very expensive thing, isn't it? I actually finished paying for the car a year ago. I can't believe that I haven't been paying for a car for a year. I always seem to have been paying for a car since I got my first one when I was 21. That was a Triumph twin carb. Lovely car. I sold it and the petrol tank started leaking, but not my fault, was it? And no, I didn't know before I sold it, before you're asking. Anyway, so terrible news about car production here in the UK, down 60%. I mean, what do you do? The government here are thinking of having a scrapping scheme. Where the idea is, if you've got an old car, I don't suppose it would affect me because I've only had my car it's only 3 years old, so I'm not quite sure how old your car would have to be. We don't have the details yet, but they're considering literally giving people X thousands of pounds to get rid of their old car and buy a new one, with the added bonus that the new car will be better for the environment, which I suppose on the outset is a really good idea. But where on earth does all this money come from? I often wonder, when they have these big schemes where they're going to spend billions of pounds, where does all that money suddenly come from? Are they borrowing it all? That can't be good, surely. But is it the lesser of the evil? Is it better I mean, I don't understand politics that much, but I wonder if it's better to borrow loads and loads of money, or is it better to let a load of people lose their jobs? Difficult to know, isn't it? But that's the scheme I've heard about. They're going to offer money, the car scrapping scheme. They're going to offer you X thousands of pounds to get rid of your old car and buy a new one. I mean, on the outset, it sounds like a good idea, but we'll be paying for it in the end, won't we, in taxes and things like that. I don't know what you think of that idea. Is there such a thing wherever you are? And do you know anything about the scheme that you can tell us about? Do let us know. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Another item of news this week I noticed was the Google Street View. Now, Google is this thing on the internet, and they've got enormous recently, haven't they? What they've done, at the moment, we have, well, what we've had in the past was maps, Google Maps, which are great, and you've got satellite images, you've got images of the country and street images. What they've done now is they've had cars with cameras attached to them going up and down certain streets in the UK. I don't know which streets they've done and which ones they haven't. Presumably, they wouldn't have the time to do the entire country's streets. I mean, I certainly haven't seen one of these cameras. It's like a large camera on top of this car, which just goes along and takes a film or a picture. And certain parts of the UK are now up online and doing this. Now, I had a look on Google and I cannot find where to see these street... What's it called again? Street views. I can't find where to see it, but I saw it advertised on the... not advertised, but it was being spoken about on the BBC News channel. And it's very clever. Basically, this camera comes down and takes a picture of the street. Now, somehow you go on the internet, on the Google Maps thing, and you look, and as you zoom in, you know, first of all, you know, you zoom in onto the world, and then you zoom in on your country, and then your town, and then your street. And apparently, if you keep zooming, it then brings up pictures of the street that you're trying to look at. I think it's very clever. But I'm also a bit concerned about criminals. Could they not be looking at this sort of thing and thinking, oh, yeah, those windows don't look very secure. Let's do over that house today. Or, oh, yeah, that fence looks nice enough to climb over. We won't get hurt too much. We'll do that one. I mean, do you not think it's open to criminals? On the other hand, criminals, don't they just walk around at the moment looking at people's houses, kind of sizing them up and wondering which ones to do over and which ones not to? So is there any difference there? It's this surveillance thing, though, again, isn't it? It's almost like the surveillance thing. I hate the fact that when I walk around now, I'm being filmed left, right and centre on security cameras. And I can't stand these people who say, well, if you're doing nothing wrong, what have you got to worry about? I don't want to be filmed. End of story. And I suppose as these cameras on Google thing are going around, they are inadvertently filming people who happen to be walking past the camera at the time. Why are they allowed to do this? I just don't understand that. Does it bother me? What, to have my house suddenly appear or something like that? For anyone in the world to see? No, not really. I don't think it bothers me that much. But as a person walking around the street, I don't want to be filmed all the time. Have you seen the Google Street Maps? And how do what's it called again? Google Street View. How do you actually find this? Because I've looked on the internet. I spent not too long, just a few minutes, looking before we came up today to chat to you. And I can't find this Google Street View thing anywhere. So if you could advise me where to look, please do so. It's Chris at UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk. Chris at UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk. All right then, boys and girls, time for some emails. By the way, I did tell you I've had my hair cut again, didn't I? Yes, look at that. Cost me £11. Well, £11.20 with the tip. Oh, I'm very generous. £11.20 with the tip. Now, I'm just wondering. I can't smell my dinner, and yet I put it on half an hour ago. Well, I think I put it on half an hour ago, did I? Hang on, let me... No, I can't smell any dinner yet. I'm sure I should have smell coming up the stairs now. Never mind, I'll have a look later. What's the time? We've got half hour, haven't we? Incidentally, if you're wondering, those of you watching on YouTube today, you may notice I've turned the camera around today, okay? So what you're seeing is what's usually on the left of me, but I'm using the natural light coming in from the outside. And I think it makes it look better, doesn't it, natural light? Rather than having the artificial lights. It does look nicer, doesn't it, eh? All right, then, off we go. Doug. Now, where is that thing? Oh, it's over there. Just a minute. There it is. Hello, Doug in Akeley writes, the picture on your keyring, do you remember I told you my niece and his girlfriend purchased me a nice little leather keyring from Cuba, where they've recently been on holiday, and I didn't know whose picture it was. It looked to me like it was either a terrorist or Jesus, because he's got the long hair and all that. Well, Doug in Akeley writes, I think the picture is from some communist revolutionary. Seen some of the Mexican anti-American gangs use it here in the States, so terrorist would be the right word. This is coming from Doug in Akeley, okay? And he includes a link. July 1988, Cuba, a revolutionary billboard features Che Guevara, Cuban revolutionary leader, Pina del Rio, Havana, Cuba. I love the name of that place, don't you? Havana. It's got a ring to it. I've actually got a bit of music from the film Copacabana. That's it. And it goes, welcome to Havana. And have you heard that one? I wonder if it's on here. Just a minute. Let me have a quick look. Let me have a look for you. Songs. Now, what year? The question is, I think it's, just a minute. If it's on here, fingers crossed, it may not be. No, it's not on there. What a shame. It's not on my easy... Could it be on my easy listening section? Just a second. Oh, I haven't added my easy listenings. Oh. 1 minute. 1 minute. Where's my easy listenings? Let's see if it's on here. Easy... Oh, there's easy listening. Are you there? Oh, there it is. Right, listen to this. It's a great piece of music. We don't usually play music on the show, but I have got a licence to do that. Thank you very much. PRS for music licence. All right? So have a quick listen to the opening to this. It's really powerful for a show, right?
Señoras y señores, aquí está la estrella de la Tropicana, Conchita Álvarez y sus muchachos.
Oh, yeah. Good, isn't it? I'll play it up to the first chorus for you, all right? Have a listen.
Welcome to Havana! How is everyone? Don't tell me, I think I know. Your life is going crazy and you don't know what to do. Your business, it went on thunder and you're coming down with flu. Your son is going steady, but his girlfriend's name is Frank. Your daughter made the evening news by holding up a bank. But you don't fly, instead you fly, and when you get down here, all your worries disappear. Dear, welcome to Havana, where the world is on vacation. Welcome to Havana for the party of your life. At the Tropicana.
There we are, Conchita there, and welcome to Havana. I do like that little tune. Hang on, let me just stop that there. Havana. Has anyone else been to Havana? I can't wait to go up and see my sister and her family. I have a date where I'm going up there. I'm going up there for the Easter period. So that's Maundy Thursday. I should get there very early Maundy Thursday morning, probably about 1 or 2 in the morning. And I'll be there Good Friday, Saturday and Easter Sunday, coming back late Easter Sunday night. So I'm really looking forward to that. And especially looking forward perhaps to talking to Stacey and Gary, who were the two that went to Cuba. Maybe we can do a little show up there as well. That'd be quite nice. If I could actually record 1 or 2 shows up there and I can ask them about Cuba and all that business. Hello to Ketan. Hello, Ketan, who's in New Jersey. Right, and he sent 2 emails. One is about to help Suko in New York, who has requested our help. Well, someone has come to your aid, Suko, your knight in shining armour, my darling. First of all, Ketan writes, I watch your shows on YouTube while I work from home in New Jersey. Now, I was recently talking about ISDN, okay, which is like a communications thing. So you have a broadcast quality phone line from here to the radio studio where we do the other show. And he says, spend the money on ISDN because it is tax deductible. It will improve the quality of your life, and you may be able to get more work done. Do you really want to spend that time in the car? And the answer to that is no. I do not want to spend that time in the car. So we are going to try something else before, and if the other thing doesn't work that I'm going to try, then I will probably go down this ISDN route and spend the money. Ketan also says, and spend the extra 50p and get proper tomato seeds. Try getting seeds from some nice heirloom tomatoes from a proper gardening store. Now, I haven't heard of heirloom. They taste better and you will kick yourself for not growing them. Have I read this one already on the last show? Never mind. I didn't even know there was a summary of the topics for your show on the sidebar. I don't think it's necessary, and you could be spending that time going to a proper gardening store buying seeds. Yeah, it does. Those of you that download the show from either YouTube or direct from my website, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, will notice there is quite a large summary of each show that tells you roughly what's in it, although not exactly. Sometimes I might take just a line out of a sentence and use that as part of the summary, right? Well, that actually takes quite a while to do. It takes about 15 minutes because after I finish a show, I can never remember what I've been talking about. Now, honestly, it's that bad. And so what I do is I then save the show and then I listen back to it, the whole show, kind of moving the fast forward button along a bit at a time, and then I write the summary. So it takes about 15 minutes to write that. So that's about an hour a week, you know, and it's more time, isn't it? So I've recently been asking people, do you need to see that summary? And most people have said no, which is interesting. Ketan also says, Chris, the picture on the keychain was of Che Guevara. It's the most famous, iconic image in the world. Well, I'm sorry, lovey. I don't know it. I mean, after you telling me that he was one of the most famous people in the world, I did look on my mobile phone. And I'm sorry, his number is not there. So he can't be that famous, can he? Be honest. Come on now. And he sent me a link, so thanks for that. He says, so no more making fun of us colonialists about the Tate or Buckingham Palace. Yes, it's the Tate Gallery. Tate, not Tate. The Tate Gallery, and it's Buckingham Palace. Not Buckingham, it's Buckingham Palace, mate. He says, Apple computers, we were talking about those recently, are better, and people who use Apple computers are superior. Oh, you're having a laugh, aren't you? I told you. I told you, didn't I, in the other show? I said to you, people with Apple computers are convinced they are superior to normal human beings. Of which I don't think I fall in the category normal human being. Let's see. Okay, he says. Here is my list for Suko of best budget hotels in London. Are you ready for this, Suko? Look, someone has stayed up all night to write this, especially for you, my darling. How kind is that? Right. I stayed at an easy hotel, and it's good value. Even you would like it. What do you mean even I would like it? I'm not a fussy hotel person. I'm quite happy with 2 or 3 stars. All I want is a bed, a shower, and a telly. Thank you. Preferably with washed sheets and non-stained mattresses. Oh, have you ever removed the sheet on your hotel bed? Has anyone ever done that? And had a rather nasty surprise? Oh, I've never done that. No, don't take the sheets off. You may find something you don't want to see. And he starts off with Kensington. The Easy Hotel in Kensington, all right? Now, Kensington, if you was to say there, Suko, that's actually, you'd get to places from there quite easily. And Harrods is there. Can you imagine that? Staying there? You've got to go to Harrods, Suko, when you come here. Oh, my God, you would love it, dear. Posh, 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 posh. But you've got to dress up. You can't just go in an old tracksuit bottoms and a T-shirt. They won't let you in. They got doormen there. Yes. It's lovely, Harrods. Beautiful. Kensington, he says. The Easy Hotel in Kensington. He says, crammed into a big white townhouse are 34 tiny rooms, all with a double bed, private bathroom and little house. Each is brightly decorated in the trademark orange and white of the Easy chain. Do you remember EasyJet? Yes, and all those. They've all got that orange and white, haven't they? The idea behind the hotel is to provide quality basics, that's bed, sink, shower and toilet for little money, all right? So that may not be for you, I think, Suko. You want something a little bit better than that. Bayswater and Notting Hill, okay? These are quite nice areas of London as well. There's the Colonnade Hotel. And Ketan says, this lovely townhouse rests in a quiet residential area known as Little Venice. It's quite posh there, Suko. You'd fit in there, dear. You would, dear. From the Freed suite, Sigmund visited regularly in 1938. Sigmund Freed, you heard of him? To the rooms with 4-poster beds or balconies, you'll find rich brocades, velvets and antiques. It's a former home, so each room is different. Some are split level. Warrington Crescent, 15 rooms, 28 suites. Rooms range from £113 to £215 a night, dear. Oh, I'm feeling ill now. Oh, my God. All that money just to go to sleep, dear. 200 quid there. That sounds a bit dear to me, Ketan. Blimey. There's also the Guest House West in the same area, Bayswater and Notting Hill. The goal of this hip hotel is to offer high-class chic at moderate prices. They almost get it right. The minimalist decor and technology, cool black and white photos and flat-screen TVs are very stylish. Rooms, however, are truly tiny and there's no room service. The restaurant is child-friendly and packed with locals, and the bar is a beautiful homage to the 1930s. The hotel's relationship with a local spa and restaurant provides guests with discounts. So that might be quite nice, you know, having a bit of a spa when you're on holiday. I've been to saunas with jacuzzis and that. It's nice, very relaxing in the sauna, I tell you. And is that like a spa? A spa has a sauna in it, doesn't it? And a jacuzzi. What else do you have in a spa? I don't know. Then we have another area here, Bloomsbury, Holborn and Islington. Now, Holborn, again, you're right in the middle of everything there in Holborn, okay? The BBC Broadcasting House is just down the road from Holborn. Oh, no, not Broadcasting House, Bush House, where they do the World Service from. Yes, nice. I hope one day to be a member of the BBC. But it's unlikely. I'm getting older and the phone isn't ringing, boys and girls. It's not ringing. Anyway, Bloomsbury, Holborn and Islington, there's the Alhambra Hotel, one of the best bargains in Bloomsbury. Now get this, right? This is good. This family-run hotel has single rooms as low as £32 a night and double rooms from £45 a night. Now that's good, Suko. That is good. Rooms tend to be small and look dated, but they're definitely good value. Some rooms have a private shower but no toilet. You share one down the hall. Others have both. All rooms have a television. All guests have access to free Wi-Fi. And tea coffee makers are available on request. It's not fancy, but it certainly is cheap. 17 to 19 Argyle Street, that is. A-R-G-Y-L-E, all right? 17 to 19 Argyle Street. There's 52 rooms, and as he says, they range from £45 to £60 a night. This is turning into the holiday programme, isn't it? I think I'm quite good at this. I'd like to fly around the world and give people a bit of advice. Huh? Well, you don't have to do the work yourself. You have reviewers to do that. You just read out bits of paper like I'm doing today. Marvellous. There's the Tavistock Hotel, which is a big sprawling hotel off Russell Square, and that makes for a convenient and affordable base to explore the British Museum and London's West End. Okay, you're really in quite a good area there. The rooms are small and simply furnished, but clean and quiet, with tea and coffee makers. The hotel itself has plenty of amenities, including a relaxed bar and restaurant. It's a bit old-fashioned and won't win any style awards, but it's a solid option when money is an issue. Now, the Tavistock Square, it's in Tavistock Square, Tavistock, okay, I'll spell it Tavistock, Tavistock Square. It's got 343 rooms ranging from £60 to £80 a night, so not bad again, all right? Mayfair, Marylebone and St James, Branston is the next one, Bryanston. This is the next hotel. The family-run hotel, a few blocks north of Hyde Park and Park Lane, is an option for budget travellers who want to stay in this pricey area. Now, Suko, when we talk about Mayfair, we're talking about money, okay? There's a lot of money there. The public rooms, it's posh. I, put it this way, Suko, even I, with my millions of pounds stashed away in foreign banks all over the world, could not afford to live there. That's the truth of it. It is dear. The public rooms, let me see. The public rooms in its three converted Georgian houses are decorated in traditional English style with open fireplaces, leather armchairs and oil paintings. It sounds beautiful, actually. The bedrooms, on the other hand, are small and bland, with a faded pink colour scheme, creaky floors and tiny old-fashioned bathrooms. In light of this, the prices could be cheaper. It's at 56 to 60 Great Cumberland Place. There's a website for this one, Suko. If you want to get a pen, I'll give it to you. 81 rooms, 8 apartments. Rooms start for that one at £120 per night. So a bit dearer than the other two, but it's a really posh area, that, Suko. Okay? Some people will give their right arms to live there. But very nice. The website for that is bryanstonhotel.com. I'll spell it BRYANSTONHOTEL. bryanstonhotel.com. I'll spell it once again. BRYANSTONHOTEL. Bryanston Hotel. And that's it, all right? So, a couple of little bits of help there for you, Suko, from Ketten. How kind for someone to spend so much time writing in like that to assist another listener and viewer, don't you think? So thanks for that. Let's see. We got another email here from John at Bracknell Radio. Hello, John. He's the boss over there, right? Bracknell, of course, where I live. I'm on my own little local radio station now here in Bracknell. I can't believe it. If you're round, pop round, John. Come and see my little setup when it's decorated, okay? He says, "Hi, Chris. You asked for feedback on whether we find the summaries useful. I have to confess that after the first couple of weeks, I do not read them now, but just enjoy the show as it happens. I've chatted to friends who listen to you on Radio Bracknell, and they are not bothered. If we do include the summary in the schedule, I wouldn't press us to include it. Interestingly, the Sunday morning show was the most popular schedule slot with everyone I talked to. Hope this feedback is helpful," and that's from John. So thank you for that, John. Yes, I'm starting to wonder actually if it's wasting my time a little bit writing these summaries. Now, I think we're almost out of time. We've got about a couple of minutes left today. I was going to say, I had a message from Mert in Turkey. Oh, Mert, where are you? Now, let me see. Have I got it here? Mert. I can't remember. I'm not sure where you are. I think you're in Turkey. One of the messages said, "Hi Chris, just a quick note to let you know I haven't forgotten and I still enjoy your shows greatly. I haven't written for you since December because shortly after that I got behind with your shows and I've just been trying to catch up. Lots of love." So thanks for that, Mert. Mert also sent another message saying that there seems to be a change in quality on the podcast that some of you download directly from unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I wasn't aware of this, so I will look into that, Mert, and see if we can find out what's happened there. As far as I know, I haven't changed any settings, so it should be saving at the same quality, but I did change computers, so I think something's happened there, possibly that it's set up differently. So I'll have a look at that. Thanks for letting us know. I don't always know these things unless someone tells us. Anyway, boys and girls, that's it from the show today. As always, thanks for listening and watching. Do send us an email. Tell us what you're up to. Anything you want to talk about, anything you want to come back to me about, please let me know. Chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I'll see you on the next show. Bye-bye.